Hello everyone and welcome to yet another video, and today we are doing something a little bit different. Today we are playing Frostpunk, an Arctic Wasteland really. So what is Frostpunk? Frostpunk is a little real-time strategy sort of city building game where, well, the whole objective essentially is to survive. What happened is, well, sometime during the Industrial Revolution, that's the reason why it's got punk in the name, so things look kind of steampunky. Things were going pretty well. Until everything froze. In fact, I'll leave this cinematic to explain it.
Stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
So I'm sure that gave the brief summary. Things are not good. And, well, for most of you that were hoping for a nice cheerful game to go ahead and make your Thursday nice and bright, I hate to break it to you, that's not going to happen today. Frostpunk, it is a very, very oppressive game. It all reminds me of Papers, Please in a way. A game that, whilst being highly depressing, it's still addictive simply because it's just got good gameplay. Not to mention, unlike Papers, Please, this actually looks absolutely gorgeous. Even if it is kind of horrific when you start to think about it. So what we're going to start off with is build a couple of shelters, try and get people homed in here. And as you can see, up on the top we have got our temperature gauge, and currently it's sitting at 20 degrees below. And this is the warmest that we'll ever get. Things are not looking good for us. I love how it's got livable, chilly, cold, very cold and freezing. Considering we're already below 20, well, 20 below, I think it's safe to say it's already freezing, but it's a matter of how long can we hold out. Now, I won't lie, I wasn't planning to play this game for as long as I did, so we're not going to have all the footage I recorded in this by any means. But things aren't looking good. Already we are dealing with overpopulation because we just don't have enough homes for everyone. We're dealing with a dwindling food supply, and on top of everything else, there is only so much coal that we can actually get. At some point we're going to have to come up with a new solution, and, well, hope things go well. Now, why do we need coal? We need coal because that powers that big furnace generator thing. Essentially, it's the Frostpunk's equivalent of a big campfire to keep everyone warm. Only this one you need to run 24 hours a day, otherwise people are going to start freezing to death. Literally. Anyway, so first thing we got the adaptations. This is our little book of laws. And this is the adaptation section, the first part that you get, and well, as you can see, there's a few things that are a little bit questionable. Child shelters, they sound good, but child labour, ugh. Down below, you can see we've got a choice between cemetery and corpse disposal. Yeah, you may notice, one of them did mention you'll be able to dig them up for purposes later, which is slightly worrying. Anyway, soup or food additives, is it? Alternatives to food to try and increase our rations and make them go further. Sustain life or radical treatment. Sustaining life, sort of, it's the nice peaceful way. Radical treatment might make people healthy, but it will also increase the chances of them dying. Let's go for emergency shifts. But yeah, nobody wants to work 24 hours a day, but sometimes that seems like the lesser of all the evils. So that's what we'll go with. Do some 24-hour shifts, try and get resources in because we are still running low. See, we've still got 30 people homeless. Anyway, as time will go on, there are various things that you can do. You can unlock, you'll have to research the beacon, which will allow you to, well, start exploring the frozen wasteland with your own people. Getting them to go off into the distance and find what is left of humanity. Maybe recover survivors, recover resources. All in the hope that you can go ahead and continue to build and thrive in your city. So apparently, family got torn apart a long time ago, and they're hoping that we can maybe go ahead and find them. This is really the first encouragement of, well, we need to build a beacon. In order to build a beacon, we need to research a beacon, which means that we're going to have to get, it's a laboratory, or yeah, I think it's called the laboratory. We'll have to get that, and we'll have to start researching it that way. And yes, it's saying about food, because I still haven't built anything that can make food yet. Well, I have, it's just I haven't built anything that can hunt for food, which means once we start making it, we're going to run out of it. See over there, that big hole. That's where a load of wood crates used to be that we used to go ahead and build half the town. As you can see, resources are going to become very, very sparse. Also in the top right, well, not top right, middle right, you can see the day counter, and as you can see in a couple of days' time, the temperature is going to drop severely. Right. So what do we do about the current situation? Because things aren't looking great. That fighting arena is sort of looking tempting, but for now, we're going to do corpse burial. I don't want to do it, I'd rather have a cemetery, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. What this is going to basically create is a big pit filled with snow. That's going to go in and hold, well, you know what it's going to hold. Sort of an... It's not really, there's no words for this, fancy or nice. Oh well. But anyway, things are still pretty damn chilly. Apparently there's some survivors, but we're struggling to spot them. Things aren't looking great for us. Yeah, the workshop, that's what it was. The workshop is trying to research, I do believe it's steam generators. Basically it's the miniature version of what we use to go ahead and warm the city that you can place all around that will, well, keep people warm, which you kind of need. Right now they're my top priority, because we're getting to the point now where if we build out any further we just can't keep anybody warm enough. But speaking of keeping stuff warm or cold, we can go ahead and build a road, a little street outwards, so we can go ahead and put that corpse burial further away from the main city, allowing us to, one, go ahead and put that way out of the way so nobody's going to have to be next to it, and two, make sure that when we do finally have all those little steam generators up, it's not going to be close enough to that as to the point where it'll, well, cause bad things to happen, because obviously you don't want loads of warm, rotting flesh. That's weird, they did capture the soundtrack perfectly with this. Like, it's not a cheerful game, it is a very oppressive game, but it manages to make it perfect. And here we go, the cold is finally setting in. 25, 28, 29, 30, 30, 40 degrees below. Jeez, that is incredibly bad. It's getting colder each day. No! Really? What gave you the idea it was getting colder? See, where are we? We're currently in the very cold, which makes me worry, considering there is a degree below this called freezing. I really do fear how cold freezing must be. But this game does leave a lot of questions, like what happened with the cold? What made it appear out of nowhere? Why are we in this situation to begin with? And why, when everything went really, really cold, did they all go up north rather than down to, you know, where the equator is? Like, forgive me if I might be mistaken here, but generally speaking, oh yeah, isn't the poles, you know, up north the worst place to be, especially if you're living, you know, they started off in what looked like London, I'm pretty sure it was London, and they've gone north from there. That's already pretty cold, and you're going somewhere where it's even worse. Surely you would have gone down south. But enough of semantics. We've got our first steam generator up, and what do you know, it's now at least making it so that everything is still chilly but livable. It's not going to go ahead and start killing people because of how cold their homes are. Also, you can see everybody trying to get warm. Overdrive. Aha! Okay, so that makes everything a lot warmer. That's kind of useful to know. At least we now have a way to keep people warm when things are getting rather Baltic indeed. Although, it does look like our coal usage is going up, and considering that I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of coal at some point, that's really not a good sign. Speaking of not a good sign, it looks like our healthcare is not exactly ideal, running into issues of many people becoming very rapidly sick, and some of them coming ill enough to the point of where they're requiring amputations just to live. It's not looking good. So my current plan is build a load of medical posts around and about that hopefully will not warm the place up, but keep people alive. Yeah, hey, that's all this game really is about, trying to keep people alive in the most harsh of Arctics. When all is lost, what can you do to prevent people from going? Keeping a little society out in the wastes, fighting the cold every day. But that's all we have time for today, so I'm going to leave it there. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. If you want to know where you can get Frostpunk, I'll leave a link down in the description below. Don't forget to check out my Facebook, Twitch and Patreon pages, all of which can be found in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more content from me, the 117th Con. And well, as always, this is the 117th Con, signing off. Have a great day, folks, and I will catch you all next time.